Hi guys, welcome back to Face to Face. We are going to continue in Love Does for Kids by Bob Goff. Chapter 9, Unicycle. Mom, Dad, I have a question, my son Richard announced with all the seriousness his 7-year-old voice could muster. Could I have my birthday present early this year? Sweet Maria and I looked at each other in surprise and then turned back to Richard. It was January. His birthday was in June. Richard is the kind of kid who would pick the smallest cookie on the tray so you could have the biggest, then convince you he wanted the small one anyway. Asking for an early birthday present was totally out of character for him. This had to be good. Tell us what you're thinking, buddy, I replied. Richard launched into his story. Apparently, his second grade class was putting on a carnival for the kindergartners at school, and every kid in the class had to choose something to perform in the carnival. When the teacher asked Richard what he wanted to do, he took a deep breath and proclaimed, I want to ride a unicycle. Do you know what a unicycle is? It's kind of like a bicycle, but instead of having 2 wheels, it only has one. Unicycles are really tippy, and Richard has never ridden one in his life. He'd only even seen a unicycle once or twice before. It did not occur to Richard to choose something that he was great at to perform in the carnival. Instead, he just thought of the coolest thing he could imagine and went for it. I love that about my son. Richard's big idea created a big problem, of course, which is why he asked for an early birthday gift. Richard had exactly 10 days to learn how to ride a unicycle for the school carnival, and he didn't even have one. Richard broke his piggy bank open, and Sweet Maria and I agreed to help him with the rest of what he needed for an early birthday present. By that afternoon, Richard was practicing in our garage, teetering back and forth on a kid-sized unicycle. Gripping for dear life on a rope we'd hung up, slowly pedaling across the concrete and improving his balance just a little at a time. By the time the carnival rolled around, Richard could manage just a few shaky pedals forward before he fell. The kindergarten kids went wild, though, clapping and cheering. It didn't matter that Richard hadn't really mastered riding a unicycle. Those shaky pedals forward were Richard's way of showing the kindergarten kids that they were loved and worthy of a performance, and that's all that mattered. A lot of times when we think about loving others and building Jesus' kingdom here on earth, it's easy to believe that we need to have everything figured out before we get started. But we don't. When Richard's teacher asked him what he wanted to do for the carnival, Richard didn't stop to think about what he couldn't do or what he didn't have. Instead, he imagined the carnival trick that would make the biggest impact and asked his parents for help and guidance in making it happen. Did you know that we get to do the same thing? When you're thinking about how to show people love, go big. Imagine the most extraordinary thing you could do to love others. Go to your Heavenly Dad for help and advice and pursue the creative dreams He's given you with everything you've got. In the end, God doesn't delight in our successes. He delights in our attempts. Anything we do to love others, even imperfectly, is one shaky pedal forward toward bringing God's kingdom here on earth.